Joining me in studio is the Vice President and Executive Director of the Tour Championship, Alex Urban. Alex, good to see you as always.
Thank you for having me. Happy to be here.
Yeah, we're about 3 months out from the Tour Championship, and the PGA Tour right now, it's on fire. There's a lot of people paying attention to what's going on. How much does that pay dividends to what is the culmination of a PGA Tour season there at East Lake?
Yeah, golf is having a moment right now. It's been a really fantastic start to the season, really since the beginning of the year. Kind of hit the ground running, and you look at all the tournament finishes, exciting finishes, heartfelt. I mean, I'm sure most people saw the Masters and the just display of emotion from Rory McIlroy, which was, I felt it pretty deeply. I think a lot of people that follow the sport, and maybe some people that weren't regular golf watchers, kind of followed as well. But then you had Justin Thomas winning in Hilton Head at the RBC Heritage, which was a really exciting win. And Scotty Scheffler finally notched a win. So all these big names in our sport, but also some fun names, some new names, Minwoo Lee, people that have been, part of the Full Swing show on Netflix, and they show these guys and then they win, and it's this really fun experience. So for us at the Tour Championship, we're the culminating event of the FedEx Cup playoffs at the end of the season. The beautiful thing is that all these guys, you're going to see them here at East Lake in August. So for us, yeah, it's great. We love it. It's a sport full of stars, and we are lucky enough to be able to be a platform and a showcase for those stars.
It's one of my favorite events of the year because it is so star-studded, and it's all these guys that want to win the big purse that is the FedEx Cup Championship at the end of the year at the Tour Championship at East Lake. Let's go back to something you mentioned, the Masters, because that was a big talking point around here. We cover it very closely. Rory McIlroy breaking through for a Grand Slam. And it was, as you mentioned, incredibly emotional. How much do you anticipate fans are going to be there at East Lake at the end of the season just dying to see Rory?
Well, and Rory has won our tournament a few times,
yeah.
So he plays very well at East Lake. He plays very well everywhere. He's one of the best players of all time, and I think it was so cool to see him break through at the Masters, a tournament that he had been close many, many times, and wins the career Grand Slam. I think you're going to see a lot of additional excitement around him. There's always excitement around Rory, as there are a lot of our big stars. But I think you're going to see that ratchet up a little bit. And I would be very surprised if he's not in the mix come August and come the FedEx Cup playoffs. So yeah, he will certainly be a big draw, as will a lot of our other guys. We've got some Bulldogs that have been playing well.
Yep.
Won one last week, Sepp Straka at the Truist Championship in Philly. So there's a lot of reasons to come out and watch.
And we haven't visited with you since 2024, the Tour Championship, when Scotty Scheffler had a dominant season. I mean, it was unbelievable for it to end the way that it did at East Lake. What a dominant run he had throughout the weekend. Just remind us what it was like around East Lake in 2024.
Scotty's 2024 was unbelievable. And I think it's funny. Somehow he's almost flying under the radar right now because there's so many good stories. But his 2024 was among the best seasons in the history of our sport. Certainly capped off by his performance at East Lake, where he ran and hid. Though if you recall, on Sunday it got close there for a second, and then I think he made 3 straight birdies and went and ran and hit again. And that's when you're Scotty, you can do that. The atmosphere was fantastic. We had a full restoration to East Lake before the 2024 tournament, so it was what felt like a really refreshed and new version of an old friend, so to speak. And there was a lot of energy around that, and the finish was really fun. I mean, Scotty deserved to raise the trophy at the end there. It was fun. He had his little baby in the cup. It was adorable. And it's just fun to see someone who works as hard as Scotty does to win something like the FedEx Cup, to see that payoff. He won a lot of things, but that is we are lucky enough to give out the season-long culminating trophy in our sport, and to watch him lift the trophy was pretty special to be there.
Fans always love to see Meredith and Scotty whenever he's winning. It's a big thing for golf right now. They love this couple. You mentioned the restoration to East Lake. It looked totally different, and the golfers noticed it. It was a big talking point in 2024. Where are we at a year later?
Yeah, so it's funny. You take a place like East Lake, and a lot of these guys have played it so many years in a row, and then you do this large, huge project, and it's new greens and new hole shapes for some of these holes. New bunkers, new everything, more or less. And so they had to relearn it a little bit, and they're the best players in the world, so they can see a new golf course and play pretty well, and they did. A year later, I think you're going to have a more mature golf course. The people that set up the courses on our side for the PGA Tour, they learn a little bit. The players learn a little bit. There will be some new names as you get the top 30, so there'll be some new guys that'll play their way into the mix. But my guess is that they'll be able to tweak the setup a little bit, hopefully make it even more exciting, which it's always a good setting. So year 2 should be a blast. I think it'll be ripe and ready to rock in August.
Another big talking point for the golfers, I'm sure, is how they think it'll play a year later.
Sure.
Let's talk about the fan experience, because it is a big one at East Lake. There are a lot of people around the Atlanta metro area and around Georgia, really around the Southeast, that love to come to this event. What can they expect?
Yeah, we take a lot of pride. You hear a lot about events. From a live event standpoint, you really have to bring it these days. TV experience is great. It's very easy to sit at home and watch sports, and that's great. I do it myself. But there's nothing like the energy of being on site, and we do all these things now to make it easier for families to come out. We have a policy at the PGA Tour and at the Tour Championship that I think is maybe people don't fully realize and internalize it, so I'm going to do my best to continue to get that message out. Kids 15 and under get in free with ticketed adults to our tournament. And that's for all days. That's including the weekend. That's including Thursday and Friday, all competition days. We're really proud of that, because what it allows us to do is introduce the game to the next generation of golf fans. It
Love that.
provides a cost-effective way to take the whole family out. We have local food vendors. We have activations for the kids. We've got a putting challenge through GSGA and PGA Tour Superstore. Things through our 3 proud partners, Accenture, Coca-Cola, and Southern Company, and these things that kids can go do that if you don't want to sit and watch every single golf shot, which is totally fine if you do, but there's also things to do if that's not your thing. So we're really proud of that. So we spend, we're only open 5 days a year at our event. It's a little different than if you're the Braves and you have 80 plus home games. We got to figure it out for those 5 days.
Sure.
We take a lot of pride in making it fun and affordable and something that you want to come back to year over year.
Where can fans get their tickets right now?
Fans can get their tickets at tourchampionship.com.
Pretty simple, pretty straightforward. And they're going to have to look forward to it, because it's going to get up really quick. August 21st is, I'm sure, sounds a little bit closer than probably you want, because you're still in the planning phase a little bit. But
It's always closer. It's always closer than you want, but it's also the best week of the year. So we're excited for it. Actually, one other thing to mention.
Sure.
We're doing something new this year. You talk about different ways for fans to get involved.
Yeah.
We do our ceremonial Hope Tee Shot on Thursday morning at the tournament. And that's where 2 kids from the first tee of Metro Atlanta get to hit a tee shot.
Awesome.
We're going to incorporate the national anthem, the singing of the national anthem this year. We're going to do a contest for that. So if you're so inclined to send in a clip of you singing the national anthem a cappella to tourchampionship.com/anthem by June 30th, it might be you standing there on the first tee singing the national anthem to a couple thousand people and whoever else. So we're excited about that too.
I'm excited for whoever gets chosen. It won't be me. I won't be submitting my video. I knew you were looking at me like it's going to be you. Submit the video.
Yeah,
it won't be me. Alex, you're such a fan of the game. You've been around the game for so long. Just my last question. We mentioned all the stars and just how fun this tournament is, but why do you love it so much?
It's a really good question. I got into the game of golf when I was a kid, just talking, introduced to the game by attending a professional golf tournament. I think there's just something special about the sport of golf in terms of there's a family component to it, an aspect. A lot of times people in golf learn from their mom or their dad or their grandpa. So there's like this fun kind of family atmosphere. It's a very fun game. It's a game that is essentially impossible to be like really good at. Even the best players in the world, if you watch them throughout 4 days of competition, they're going to hit bad shots. Mm-hmm. And so it's a very interesting mental look inside someone's psyche. There's the old adage of you learn more about someone in one round of golf than you can in like knowing them for several years, and you see how they handle adversity and all this stuff. So it's as a fan, I love watching people go through that. As a player, it's fun to test yourself. I think that's kind of what I like about it. And from an event standpoint, honestly, I really enjoy watching people have a good time and at the end of the day, we're kind of in the fun business and making it fun for the fans. And 2, and I think this is really important, is every PGA Tour event, ours is no exclusion to that. We are really focused on leaving the community in a better place than when we got there. So we actually announced last week our 2024 tournament impact number was $7.2 million to nonprofits in Atlanta. We're at more than $63 million since 1998. They're these big gaudy numbers, but it's so fun to be with the East Lake Foundation and the First Tee of Metro Atlanta and Purpose-Built Communities, Grove Park Foundation, Focus Community Strategies, these different groups that we work with. To be able to support that and see the work that they do in the community to make it a better place, that rose right alongside of it. So you kind of have this really great golf experience, but also this community piece as well.
Well, we love everything that Eastlake is doing for the community of Atlanta. We love the Tour Championship. Can't wait. August 21st is the first round of the Tour Championships. To get your tickets, make sure you go to tourchampionship.com. And Alex, I appreciate you so much. Can't wait for August.
Thanks for having me, Maria.